course. By the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt. And all the illegal border transgressions,
that he is dangerous and that people are exhausted.
will in some form or another be on their way back home. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. Make sure that there's going to be peace, and there's not going to be any problem, and nobody's going to question it. And we're going to run it very properly, and eventually we'll have economic development at a very large scale, maybe the largest scale on that site. And the people from Gaza who wouldn't be able to be there for years, because you're talking about just to get it and prepare it.
So the way this is gonna work is I will be saying a bit of context, and then I'll be saying a question. You guys can take 1 minute to think about it, and then reply to the question saying, do you agree? Do you not agree? Do you think it's right? Is it not right? Stuff like that. Trump has proposed mass deportations of undocumented immigrants, arguing they contribute to economic and housing crisis. Should mass deportations be prioritized? Take 1 minute, think about it, talk with your fellow classmates, and think of an answer, and then we'll discuss. Okay, time's up. So we will let the Republicans first defend this, and then you guys can either attack it or just share your opinion. Okay.
Okay. We argue that it's a good thing to an extent when you take so many people who come over here wanting legal citizenship and they want to stay here legally. It takes a while, and a lot of people have family troubles, they have cartel troubles. Getting over here is their number one priority to maintain their family's safety. But when you start coming over here illegally, you cannot tell between a gang member and a real person. And so the argument is, what are you supposed to do when you find these people? Are you supposed to give them background checks? Are you supposed to fully legitimize them? And I think the best way forward is to fully make sure that when you're sending someone back, you're making sure they're someone who's going to do harm to the country instead of being a good citizen.
Okay, so it's a yes? Are you answering it should be
Yes, to an extent.
yes to an extent?
Yes, to an extent.
So it should be important, but not
You shouldn't take it as send all of them home. You should say, be careful about it. I think cautiousness is the best way forward.
What do you guys think?
I think for this one, it's it's hard to make it a black and white issue because I agree with them too. It is a difficult thing to become a citizen of the United States. It is difficult. And so what I don't understand too is I know Trump a lot, or just a lot of the Republican Party talk about economy and helping the economy. I don't feel like sending all immigrants back is going to help the economy, because most immigrants that come here do a lot of the hard labor that we don't want to do. So if we don't have them, then who's gonna it doesn't make sense to me. But again, I feel like we should just help them make it more easier to be a legal immigrant, I think. Sending them also to I might be wrong, it's a camp area.
One town of Opening? Yep.
I am a little worried about it because it sounds a little scary. I mean, if they're sending all immigrants back to that area, it feels like there's no way to keep in touch with the living conditions there. So part of me is a little worried for them. Kind of makes me a little scared for them a little bit.
So I am an unbiased person, clearly, but I've heard people worrying about that because it seems to be resembling of somewhat Germany back in the 1945s with all the hatred against the Jews, sending them to concentration camps. I'm not saying that that's what is gonna happen. I'm just saying that several people have that worry. Do you think they're right to be worried about that, or is it completely different?
Although the conditions of the immigrants on the camp might be worrying, it's probably the worst but best way to prevent from a lot of budget being spent on so many people, whether they're just being on that camp for realistically for like not that long, probably just like a week or a few days. Although we shouldn't treat them like animals neither. I'm not saying you should keep them in tin foils as blankets or whatever. Yeah, we should like take care of them in a way, but not spend too much on people that are gonna get deported in like a few days.
Do you think that all illegal immigrants should go to those camps, or just like the criminals? Like, which people would you say, like, let's say you were running that prison, which prisons would you allow to go in?
Probably like we said, we think that immigration should go to a certain extent. So same way goes for this, to a certain extent we should send people to these camps. So yeah, probably like people like you said, criminals, or with bad people in general. Just send them there and separate them from people with families and children.
I'm a little worried too. I feel like that's gonna be difficult to do. It's just, again, this feels like it's like not a black and white issue. It's like there's so many complexities to it. And I just feel like if we because I've been seeing a lot of like hatred just for immigrants in general, especially people of color. So I feel like if we just tone down the hatred a little bit for them, I feel like American people as a whole, I feel like it'll kind of help. I just feel like we need to help immigrants instead of just push them away, especially when I feel like our country is built on immigrants. I mean, all of us, our parents, not all of us, but like most of us, our parents or ancestors came from other countries. I feel like we need to unite. I know not everyone wants to do that, but it's such a hard issue.
Trump wants to extend his 2017 tax cuts, arguing they boost economic growth. Democrats claim they mainly benefit the wealthy and increase the national deficit. Should Trump's tax cuts be expanded or reversed?
So I got a job last summer. I work for a pest control company, and I get $11 an hour, and I'm in the same tax bracket as Jeff Bezos. I don't see that as fair at all. I feel like Jeff Bezos, with the billions of dollars that he has, could be contributing more to the government, but instead we're paying the same amount of percent that we make per year.
Again, I want to say on a news source, and I might be wrong, but like Jeff Bezos, he makes or who runs Amazon? Sorry. The Amazon CEO, I'm just going to say that because I don't know their names, makes like $800K. What, like in an hour? That's insane. People don't my family, like if you took my aunt, my grandma, me, my mom, like none of us will make that, make 300, even 300K. We don't make that much. So to think that someone who's has $1 billion is paying if not the same but lower in tax rates, I find that insane. That's just a me thing, but I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me because they did not get that money.
Like Elon Musk, he still has 480 billion, right? That's about, and that is way more than any one person could ever need in their life. And there's so many poor families that could use that instead, and just a fraction of his money could just help millions of people.
Okay, can I bring you back to the whole billionaires don't deserve to be credited? So when you said it depends on the billionaire,
I don't really think it does. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. I don't think it should depend on the billionaire. I think if you're a billionaire, you should be contributing more to society when it comes to how much you're giving and taxes and stuff like that and aid.
I agree. I feel like they should. They do a lot, but it goes unseen. A lot of them donate. They donate as much as they can. They have to keep their liquidation. They have to keep their money growing so they can afford to pay people in their company. They have stocks. They're not going to sell that off because that's safety. A lot of that wealth comes from inflation, and they're inflating their wealth to look real big, which includes all of their companies, all of their stocks, and what they actually have in liquid format is actually not as much as people think. So when they get that money, it's not building on billions and billions and billions. It's a lot lower, and so it looks like it's more. But also, when you factor in that billionaires obviously have to work. They're like any other people. They're getting credited for their idea, not just because they're a billionaire. They're earning money because they made an idea that sold. They're earning money for Tesla, for Amazon. Amazon was a once-in-a-billion lifetime invention. I mean, I'm sure you use Amazon. I think everybody uses Amazon, and I mean, if you came up with Amazon, if you were earning $1 billion a year, you would give money back too, wouldn't you? I mean, they do. It's not like they don't give money away, it's just that you don't see it because they're so rich that doesn't make a dent. Just because it doesn't make a dent to them doesn't mean it doesn't mean much to other people in the world.